This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday. I'm Tim Gordon.
Like we
are. Yes, we're moving.
Well, we are warm.
We're a little warm, and we're going to get warmer.
A little warmer in the studio too. We need to go flip the AC on. Let's go ahead and get to the weather wall right now. We are looking at, we were in the 90s yesterday, but the heat kind of cranks up a few more degrees today. So for that reason, the Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for the Portland, Vancouver metro area, and everywhere shaded in kind of like that peach shading. That includes the Columbia River Gorge, the East Gorge, the Columbia Basin, and parts of Central Oregon as well. So here's the plan for today, off to a clear and mild start. 62 degrees last check at PDX. Temperatures inching their way into the upper 80s by lunchtime. And we may or may not get to 100 degrees, but in any event, we're certainly going to be a good 6-8 degrees warmer than we were yesterday, with that hazy sunshine continuing. And I say hazy because we may see a little wildfire smoke in the air. This is the visible satellite imagery from yesterday, and I want to call your attention to this little plume of smoke right there. I've got the yellow arrow pointed right at it. That is the smoke plume from the Cedar Creek fire burning in the Central Oregon Cascades. And right now that's about 1,500 acres and 0 contained. And that smoke yesterday was starting to creep up in the sky here through the Cascades. And as we take you up there, here it is. Let me step out of the way. You can see the smoke on our Timberline camera pointing south towards Mount Jefferson, and most of the smoke again south of Jefferson, but the winds may start to usher some of that smoke up in our direction. So be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, a clear and mild morning out there, 62. Tim, on our way to highs in the upper 90s to near 100 this afternoon.
A hot afternoon. All right, Chris, thanks a lot. And for that reason, Portland and Multnomah County will have several cooling centers open today. That includes at libraries across the county, with one major exception, the Central Library in downtown Portland. Beaverton will also have its libraries open for people to escape the heat. We have more details on our website, kgw.com, about where you can find a cooling center. Well, new this morning, I-84 is back open right now, but traffic was backed up overnight after a car hit a pedestrian along the eastbound lanes of the freeway. The victim died at the scene. This all happened just after 1 a.m. near the exit for 82nd Avenue. Now, investigators are working to figure out why the victim was on the freeway. The driver of the car remained at the scene. Well, we are learning more about Friday morning's shooting in Old Town. And we're about to show you some clips that show what was happening on the ground. Officers responded to a report of possibly armed individuals around Northwest 4th and Davis Street. The Bureau's surveillance plane responded to assist officers and captured the video that you're seeing right now. Authorities say shots were fired after 2 a.m. So far, 2 suspects have been arrested and 2 guns have been seized. Investigators say they're still looking for more suspects. You can go to our website, kgw.com, for more details on this story. Well, rescue crews are looking for a missing person last seen kayaking in the Columbia River near Broughton Beach. Here's a map of that area. We don't have much information at this point, but the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office did say the missing person probably is not in the water.
It wasn't a big mega theater where we have 6 films playing here, right? It was just a one-time thing, and it just had such heart.
Lots of people are sharing their fond memories of the Roseway Theater after the nearly 100-year-old theater went up in flames early Saturday morning. This was our breaking news yesterday morning, and our Alma McCarty went to see the aftermath. And while some are hoping it can be salvaged, firefighters believe they will have to totally rebuild.
Sirens and smoke filled the air in this part of Northeast Portland early Saturday morning.
The sirens woke me up this morning, and I thought, that's not good.
And neighbors who heard it or saw it from afar stopped to see what was burning on Northeast Sandy Boulevard.
The smoke was just billowing up in the sky. I mean, you could see it for a long ways away.
They soon found out the Roseway Theater was on fire. Portland Fire and Rescue brought in even more firefighters after the initial call.
Crews opened the door and there was fire inside. There's stairwells going downstairs as well. They were burnt out. We wanted to advance and try to fight this fire, but it was just too much.
Terry Foster with Portland Fire and Rescue explained the floor started to collapse and the fire began burning through the roof. Using aerial ladder trucks, crews poured water into the building to keep it from spreading.
From what I've seen from the aerial photos, they would have to rebuild the whole structure.
After extinguishing the flames, firefighters remained on scene to continue cooling hotspots.
We did keep it to the one structure. There may be some minor damage to the other structures, but it could have been a lot worse.
Several people stopped by to see the extent of the devastation to their beloved neighborhood theater.
This is a really special place to me and to my son, and we've come here many times, and it was such a neighborhood kind of place where it was just really, it felt very intimate to come here. We just live a few blocks away.
You know, I was lucky enough to go in here to see the Top Gun when after they did their remodel.
Just going in and getting the big bucket of popcorn and in the old time feel and small and yeah, you know, having Saturday matinees. The neighborhood, you know, small theater is now gone.
As fire investigators work to determine the cause, neighbors pray this theater can be restored once again.
Inside is gutted because you can still see the burned wood and stuff on the top. Hope they have really good fire insurance too, because they're going to need it.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Too bad. Well, starting next year, psilocybin, or magic mushrooms, will be legal in Oregon. In the meantime, health leaders and industry experts are working to finalize the rules around how it's produced and administered. Now, you'll need to be at least 21 years old to take it. You don't need a prescription or a referral from a doctor, but you can't just go buy it. Instead, a licensed facilitator will administer the drug after assessing the patient.
Most of the action is internal, and that can be different for different folks because we come to this experience with our own stuff. So that's kind of the neat thing about psilocybin and the experience of psilocybin as a therapeutic agent. Kind of goes where it needs to go.
Well, so far, counties are split on the issue. For example, commissioners in Clackamas County voted unanimously to put a measure on the ballot this November, temporarily banning psilocybin until the state finalizes regulations. But in Washington County, commissioners plan to move forward with the program. The city of Detroit is working hard to recover after wildfires devastated the area nearly 2 years ago. The recovery is moving along, and last night they held a concert to help bring the community together. Art Edwards was there.
I'm here behind the scenes in Detroit City Park where the concert's going on, the benefit concert for Detroit. This is just part of the effort to bring this area back after the devastating fires just about 2 years ago.
You can climb the ladder, just don't rock the boat while I barbecue.
People gathered in Detroit City Park for the concert, a park set up for this special occasion.
Enjoy the show, guys.
Donations being taken, food and drink available, and plenty of music. Scotty Alexander, who grew up here, and Lexi Tucker from nearby Staten provided the entertainment. Tucker calls Detroit Lake her second home.
Devastating driving through and seeing the damage done, but I'm excited to see all the rebuild that's going on because I love this town.
Nearly 2 years ago, wildfires ravaged the Detroit Lake area, destroying many of the homes and businesses in the area. The recovery has been challenging, but events like this one help. It's the first concert in this park, and the hope is there will be many more to follow.
It's just a fantastic event for us, and just another sign that Detroit didn't go away and we're coming back.
For the people here, it's a time to get together with friends. They'll never forget the wildfires, but now they can celebrate the work that they've done to recover.
At this point, I think most of us in town are choosing to, yes, we got gut punched and hit over the head and several other things, but we're now looking at the things that are happening that are very positive and great for Detroit.
Reporting from Detroit Lake, Art Edwards, KGW News.
And the money raised last night will go toward building a permanent stage in Detroit Park. That way, they can have more concerts there. Sounds great. All right, coming up, a life-changing gift allows an Oregon City woman to hear clearly again. We'll tell you about the program that made it possible.
I believe I was